ESPN Radio, ESPN app. Tell your smart speaker to play ESPN. We are Shay and Jordan Cornette. If you're just waking up with us, don't mind our get up. But hey, Merry Christmas to y'all. You know, we're in our pajamas. It's early in the morning and we match. And we're married and we're merry. It's all good. Let's get to first down.
Had nothing to add.
First down. Colts at Steelers.
Colts at Steelers. So the Colts can clinch a playoff berth with a win and then a loss by either the Ravens or the Dolphins. This is the 7th all-time meeting between Phillip Rivers and Ben Roethlisberger, each drafted in 2004. My goodness, that was a long time ago. Each have 3 wins head-to-head. Their 7th meeting will be the most in the common draft era between quarterbacks taken in the top 15. All that to say, what do you like? Steelers or Colts?
The Colts. The Steelers are going to be on the field looking at themselves in the mirror and saying, that's the team we wanted to be. That's the team we were when we started 11-0. That's the team everybody thought we were, at least. But it's actually the Colts. The Colts with the quarterback that's great against pressure, as good as Patrick Mahomes against pressure in terms of statistically. He ain't Patrick Mahomes, but Phillip Rivers has been statistically as good as anybody against pressure this season. So you got the veteran quarterback that's actually making plays. He plays for the Colts. The defense. It's a better defense with the Colts than it is with the Steelers. And that's because Bud Dupree is out. And that's where the fractures have come into this Pittsburgh defense. I would have given the nod to the Steelers defense, but I like the Colts defense better. The run game. Colts have it more. Jonathan Taylor. It's a better team, better balance, and that offensive line for the Colts blows the Steelers out of the water. The Steelers want to be the Colts. The Colts are the Colts. They've won the last 3. The Steelers have lost the last 3. You need to see these Steelers come out here and play great football. I don't see it happening. I think they've lost their mojo. I like the Colts, and I like them big.
Okay, I like the Colts too, for a few different reasons. First of all, the Steelers have not put up 20 points in a game in their last 5 games. That's a problem, especially when you're playing a team like the Colts, who I'll just run through it. Their last game against the Texans, they put up 27. Their game before that against the Raiders, they put up 44. The game before that against the Texans, again, 26. And a loss to the Titans, 26. All over 20 points is what I'm getting to. So the Colts, while they have a very dominant defense, can score points when Phillip Rivers is playing good football, which he is right now because he has not thrown an interception in 3 straight games. And when Phillip Rivers is playing well, this Colts team plays well. So he needs to come out and from the jump have a good game against the Steelers.
That's my woman right there. That's my marriage. I love when we're on the same page. Also, DeAndre Hopkins, clearly.
What are we doing? Why are we going there?
Because I'm saying when the Cardinals got him, it was huge. That's the number one story of grabbing a guy from another team, getting him on your roster, and his pay dividends. But DeForest Buckner coming over for the Colts, let's keep it all the way real. That has been massive for this defense and a difference maker, an absolute disruptor. I expect a big game from DeForest Buckner.
And when DeForest Buckner is not in the game, which we saw earlier this year,
gashed.
Yeah, big problems for that Colts
Tennessee
team.
Hung 45 on him.
Let's go to the second down.
Second down. Giants at Ravens.
All right, Giants at Ravens. So the Giants would be eliminated from the playoffs with a loss and a Washington football win. The Giants have scored 1 touchdown in their last 23 offensive drives going into this game. The Giants average just over 17 points a game, which is not a lot this season. In fact, it's the 2nd worst in the NFL. And so, Jordan, Giants at Ravens, any shots? The Giants come away with a W, and they hold the Washington football team back another game.
What do you always say about the Giants?
What do I always say about the Giants? I think they're going to win the division, but I don't anymore.
But that they're kind of they're sneaky dangerous.
They're pesky.
They're pesky. They're a sneaky dangerous team. However, the Ravens, their last 3 games have figured it out, putting up points: 34, 47, 40. They're back to scoring points. Lamar Jackson has found his groove again. It's a Ravens team that's absolutely playing for something, playing to get into this thing. More on the line. Actually, both have a lot on the line. But Lamar Jackson, I think the Giants' defense, which has been impressive, doesn't have answers for Lamar Jackson that's found his groove.
Yeah, I like the Ravens in this game, too. I think they're playing much better football as of late. And as of late, I mean in their last 3 games. Jags and the Cowboys, who cares? I don't think those are 2 very good football teams. But the way they played against the Browns, I think, showed us all something because the Browns are playing good football right now, too. They can score. They can defend. I think they can be much better defensively, if I'm being honest. But against a Giants team who has trouble putting up points and instead their strength is their defense, I think the Ravens will do well. So I'll take the Ravens in this game, and I'm sorry, but the Giants will be eliminated from the playoffs. If that happens, we go to third down.
Third down. Rams at Seahawks.
Rams at Seahawks. The Seahawks can clinch the NFC West with a win. The Rams can clinch a playoff berth with a win or a loss by either the Bears or the Cardinals. Who do you like in this one, Jordan?
Who's Jared Goff going to be? You got an answer for me?
I have nothing.
You can tell me who Jared Goff's going to be. I feel a whole lot more confident in this one. I think Russ Cooks.
I don't think anyone could tell you who Jared Goff is going to be in any given day since he's been drafted. And
that's just the problem with me. One minute you think this is a team that can contend for a Super Bowl. The next minute you're going, I don't know what's going on with this team. And it starts with Jared Goff. I just have too many questions there. And I think Russell is a guy that's trending upward going into the postseason. I'm going with Russell Wilson. I have to.
I can't believe I'm agreeing with you on every single one of these games, but I would take the Seahawks and Russell Wilson in this game too. Like, the Seahawks are getting healthier. They're playing better defense. They finally have a stable of running backs that can play well. And Russ probably doesn't feel anymore like he has to cook. He has to do it all. He's got to do too much for the Seahawks team to win. On the other side, the Rams, now look, if the Rams hadn't gone out and Jared Goff hadn't played like he was in year one, because we all remember what Jared Goff looked like year one he was in the NFL, was confusing why he was the number one overall pick. And then Sean McVay comes in and this entire Rams team turns around. They go to the Super Bowl, et cetera, yet still, we don't know who Jared Goff is on a week-to-week basis, as you mentioned, and we saw last week against the Jets. Again, the Rams lost to the Jets, the worst team in the NFL.
But
what I would expect is the Rams to come out and have a big game and show that was embarrassing. We went back to the tape. We'll never play like that again. That was an extremely humbling loss, as Sean McVay said, and for them to play well. I just can't put all my chips in that basket yet until I see it. And so who do I trust more in this situation, Goff or Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson, and so I'll take the Seahawks.
But it always goes a little bit deeper than that because the Rams do typically have the Seahawks number. You do get the best in terms of scheme from McVay in this one. You get the best performance from Goff. And the Rams defense seems to have an idea of how to handle
Russell Wilson.
Yes. And that's usually been the story here. We talked about quarterbacks a lot. I do think it's worth talking about the Seattle Seahawks defense because the Seattle Seahawks defense has been the Achilles heel, the question. This is a defense that's going to let down Russell Wilson, and no matter what Russell Wilson does, they're just not going to figure it out. Well, Carlos Dunlap, but more importantly, Jamal Adams, anchoring that thing, those additions, have been a difference maker. Now, I get it. The last two games have been the Jets and the Washington football team. Those aren't very gifted offenses, but it goes a long way for confidence for a defense that has averaged only 9 points given up in those two matchups. Can that bleed into this one for a Rams team that's trying to recover from trying to figure out who the heck they are, having lost to the Jets? I need to see the Seattle defense bring it here. You know the Rams D is going to bring it and come after Russell Wilson. But what can the Seahawks defense do? That'll give me a clearer picture of what the Seahawks can be going into the playoffs.
Okay, fair enough. Let's go to what I'm going to call the most important down here because it's my favorite game of the weekend. So it's like...